When you are a black woman, you have to work harder. As a black woman, you have to work harder. You're always going to have to work harder. You got to work harder to get ahead. Who remembers their grandmothers or their dads or their parents giving them that speech when they were younger? Did any of you guys' parents give you that speech when you were younger and you're like, what do you mean I have to work harder because of my race? People are going to see me differently because of my race. Like, why does it matter? Like, people are people, humans are humans. We have different genders. Obviously, that makes us completely different from the next. But other than that, I mean, we're all people. And I really just didn't understand that until I got older. But I always kept that like in the back of my mind. Like during school, I always made sure that like I prioritized my schoolwork. I always was the type to read. I loved reading. I worked harder on my exams. Really great at writing. Always have been super creative. And I just focused on things that I was good at. And I just kept growing based on that. Like I was like, okay, I'm really good at this, so I should focus on this. That's the kind of mindset that I've always, kept. Every black woman who has worked in a corporate, luxury, beauty, healthcare, or even service environment has experienced at least once when a non-black woman is jealous of you at work. And for you guys, oh boy, black women can be jealous of you too, and black. I know that, right? But that isn't what this video is about, because it's different. It's different when it comes from your own versus when it's not, right? And I'm going to tell you why. This is about patterns, social patterns, behavioral patterns, energy patterns. Because jealousy in the workplace doesn't always look like open hostility. It's very passive, right? I had a boss who was a white woman. And working for her in corporate was like always so like dreading and annoying, and like she was just always so extra with me, right? She would say like little passive comments like when I would be in charge. There's a lot of times, with the kind of work that I do, I'm in charge. And people recognize I'm a leader, especially when it comes to, men. They know that I'm a leader, and they recognize leadership, and they recognize power. A lot of women have a problem with that. Why? Because a lot of them, they don't have power in their real lives, in their relationships, right? And so she would say little stuff like, I didn't know you were leading that. Or, wow, your hair is different again. I'm always switching up my look. I'm not a basic Betty. Becky, I'm not a basic Betty. Okay? And it would just be so funny to me because I knew what she was doing, like throwing the little subtle shades, or like when you're working a corporate and you're getting like those kind of emails, those unnecessary emails that are like basically criticizing you, but they're done in a way that's not like super out there, super bold, because they don't want to come off that way. And you're just existing, you're just doing your job. So let's break this down. There is something very triggering about a black woman who is polished, articulate, slim, or well-maintained, soft-spoken but firm, and socially intelligent, especially in spaces where she is not the majority. Historically, black women were never supposed to be centered in femininity. We were coded as labor, strength, endurance, not beauty or desirability, and definitely not luxury. So when you show up in a fitted blazer, glowing skin, subtle perfume, and you know your worth, that disrupts a subconscious hierarchy. Now, add that to competence, attention, add that to male coworkers, because women, they're so obsessed with male gaze. Executives or clients naturally gravitate in towards you because you have a presence. That's when the temperature shifts. Jealousy at work is really about the job itself. It's about positioning. Some non-black women have been socially conditioned to expect default femininity status. They are used to being the standard. So when you enter a space and you are just as soft, just as put together, just as desired, but with added resilience and cultural depth, it feels like a displacement. Like you don't belong. And that is what creates that insecurity between black women and non-black women. And do me a favor, if you're liking the content so far, please give me a thumbs up. It helps with the algorithm. So when they start getting really insecure, they're going to start questioning your qualifications more than others. They'll double check your work, but not their friends or their others. When I was working in corporate, every time I would turn in an assignment, it was like, oh, you're done? Because a lot of times I would be done a lot quicker than other people, not because I didn't put the effort or the work in, but because I've done so much studying and I've learned how to get work done where I don't have to constantly overwork myself. So every time I'll be done my work, oh, you're done? Oh, okay. And it will always be like, let me double check this, or this is done. Yeah, this is done. I've been here for a while. I think I've proven that I'm trustworthy. I think I've proven my work ethic, and you still have to double check every time I do something. But Susan can turn in her assignment and it's okay, thank you, whatever. But when it comes to me and my assignment, you're spending hours in your work office trying to find flaws within my work so that you can, prejudge me, or you can make me, someone that you can critique so that you could come back. And it would be little subtle things like, oh, can you try to, write in a different ink, or, I really couldn't understand this. What does this mean? What do you mean when you say this? Or, can you like, it would just be so much nitpicking and nagging, and it would just be so much. And it's like, then it's like when they give you compliments, they'll compliment you in a way that feels like a backhand. Okay. And then they'll smile while doing it, because socially, open aggression isn't always acceptable. So it becomes strategic. So you have to understand, when someone feels threatened, they're going to either compete or they'll try to destabilize. And destabilization can look like downplaying your ideas in meetings, mimicking your style after criticizing it, reporting minor things to management, and acting overly friendly to gather information. Now, let's be honest. Sometimes jealousy isn't about race alone. It's about beauty hierarchy. It's about body type. It's about youth. It's about male validation. It's about social capital. But if you are attractive, self-assured, and emotionally regulated, you are a mirror. An insecure woman, they don't like mirrors, right? They don't like to see a woman that's confident, and especially when you're black and you're walking into your confidence and you're coming into work and you're looking beautiful and you're there and you belong there. You belong in those circles, and they know you belong in those circles. And because they're so used to looking at people that are like you in a below way, when they see you, it makes them uncomfortable. They start feeling really uncomfortable when you come around. Like, I've always thought that this group was below me. And now I'm in the same position as them, or they're above me. So something must be wrong with me, right? So then they start attacking, but in subtle ways, right? But the part where Black women can elevate is you cannot afford to respond emotionally. That's what they want you to do. They want you to have that kind of angry Black woman image so that they can paint that narrative, because that's all they want. They want to paint the narrative, and when you go against the narrative, they lose. The moment you become reactive, you confirm whatever narrative they're trying to build about you. So the key is composure. Document everything. Over communicate professionally. Keep receipts and do not overshare personal information. Some of you guys are even allowing some of your coworkers to follow you online. You're allowing your coworkers to have your personal number. You're allowing your coworkers to go out with you for drinks, for food, on dates. You're involving them in your personal business. And that's where you mess up. You're not supposed to do that. Do not overshare information with your coworkers. You don't know what their intentions are. And when you're working with someone and you're trying to level up, if that's your goal, because I will hope that you're not trying to stay stagnant. When you're trying to level up, especially in business places, there are going to be people that are going to be in competition with you. And a lot of people, they keep their enemies close. So you may not deem them as an enemy, but they deem you as one, or they deem you as competition. And so they're trying to form an alliance with you to keep you stunned and learn things about you, just in case you become above them. If you and your coworker, whether you guys are friends or whatever you guys think that you guys are, if you and your coworker are in a position where, they have to grow, or you guys have to turn in a certain amount of assignments, or you guys are competing in interviews, so who can get this new position that's open up that is internal, right? So only people that are in a work office can get that. If they know personal things about you that could bring you down, right? If they know personal things about you, do you not think they're not going to kind of mention that to the boss, the ones that's in charge, the decision maker? Do you think they're not going to do that to you? They're going to do that to you. They're going to do that to you. So many Black women perform extra humility to make other people comfortable. Don't do that. You are not there to shrink yourself so someone else feels centered. You're there to work, to earn, to build, to leverage. If anything, use their jealousy as data. I use people jealousy and their envy as data. Right? I learn about people through other people. The best knowledge that you could get about humans is is from them. Blending in has never been an assignment for me. I don't blend in. I don't blend in spaces, and that makes a lot of people uncomfortable because I don't blend in. I refuse to blend in. I'm going to stand out. I'm going to be myself. I'm going to be beautiful. I'm going to be confident. I'm going to walk in here and I'm going to do the job. And I'm going to be the best at doing the job. And I don't care if that makes you uncomfortable because of my skin color or my background or where I come from or my family's history. I don't care how that makes you feel. What matters is who I am as a person, the effort that I put in, where I stand, my accolades, things that I've accomplished. Discernment is your superpower. Don't assume, observe. Energy doesn't lie. And your biggest power move is staying unfazed, because nothing frustrates these insecure women, okay, more than realizing their subtle tactics aren't moving you. Do not be offended when people tell you that you're intimidating as a black woman. And let me tell you why. The word intimidating is interesting. It is often code for a woman who does not overextend herself to make others comfortable. And when you look at studies from institutions like Yale, they have shown that women who display assertiveness are more likely to be penalized socially compared to men exhibiting identical behavior. Okay? But you showing assertiveness, although people are going to try to penalize you for that, that shows that you're demanding respect. Respect is not optional. Respect is not optional. I don't care who I'm around, what group I'm around. You're not above me. I'm not going to place myself above you. But what you're going to do is you're going to respect me. I don't care if this is your establishment. I don't care if you're the owner of the business. You're going to respect me or you're going to lose out on me. And I'm not worried about you losing out on me. You should be worried about losing out on me because I am of value. And maybe you are of value to someone, but when you are disrespectful, you are no value to me. You're no value to me. And when I had that boss that I was telling you guys about, she would always, like, when we would have people that would come into the office, when they were males, when they would come into the office and they would come in to, check out our office, see what we do there. They want to know a little bit about the business. They're there to be closed on a deal. She would always give me a bunch of work that day. Like, when I would come in that day, usually what's on the agenda is already laid out for me and my task and what I had to do. And I told you guys I'm a fast worker. I'm a fast worker. I work smarter, not harder. And those days, I noticed when we would have certain clients that would come in, she would try to keep me there. And it's not like they wouldn't see me. They would walk past my office, or if I'm out in like the cubicles and stuff, they would gaze at me because I'm attractive. And, she would, or she would try to walk past my desk really fast and stuff. And even if they would speak to me, and me speak it back, and then she would jump in, did you complete X and Y? So that she can show that hierarchy that, she's the boss and, like she's above. And she would lose a lot of male clients because of that. I'm like, ma'am, do you think that that's impressive to men? Men don't like stuff like that. Men, when they see that you're treating other women like, distasteful, unless they're that kind of like toxic man that's like trying to compete for like his validation or whatever. But when they just notice the jealousy, and when men hear about the stuff that women do, they're disgusted. They're disgusted by your behavior. They're disgusted. And if you know anything about men, they love beauty. So you try to sabotage me or trying to keep me in the back burner, right? Because I'm beautiful. That could hinder your growth, because actually, if he's sitting in front of a beautiful woman that's intelligent and that can tell him more about how we can help his business and help his business grow and how he should be aligning himself to me, he's more than likely to take that deal. Feminine energy is positive, and when you're operating in like that ultra, I need to compete, that's just very masculine. It's very masculine. Like, lady, relax. Okay. And a lot of women, they like subconsciously, they tie validation to status, even if it's strictly business. Your mere presence can feel like competition. And here's the part you have to be emotionally mature to understand. Jealousy is often admiration mixed with insecurity. You will start slowly seeing how the women at the office, how like how they looked prior to you coming in, and how all of a sudden they want to step up their style because you coming in and you care about your style and you care about your look, and so they're like, oh, I have to step it up because she can't outdo me. Ooh, and don't let you be a natural black woman with long hair. Oh, girl, don't let you be a natural Because then, a lot of times they want to talk about like our hair and how we always need to be hidden under weaves and stuff like that. So you wearing your natural hair and you're looking beautiful. Oh my gosh, the jealousy is just going to ooze out of them. But you must protect your reputation like it is currency, because it is. Another layer to this conversation is eternal regulation. If you're used to being the standout in social environments, entering a workplace where you are substantially challenged can feel destabilizing to your identity. So you have to detach your sense of worth from workplace validation, because you'll never receive it. Your value does not shrink because someone else feels jealous. Okay, but don't let that inflate your ego either. You have to stay grounded. I stay grounded. I stay focused. I skill stacked. I'm about my skill stacking. We'll talk about that in a later video, but I'm about skill stacking. I'm about getting as much skills as possible so that I can get ahead and I can get that raise. And I can tell you that if you don't get me that raise, I'll go to another company. Okay. When you stack your skills and you stack your credentials and you're constantly growing in the company, they have to pay you more. Some jobs, they won't even accept you there if you have a certain amount of degrees or you have a certain amount of credits, because they know that they cannot afford you. Okay? I always make myself have undeniable in performance so that personal bias has less room to operate. Excellence does not erase bias completely, though. I still get it, but it does build insulation. And sometimes the most powerful move is exit. Not a dramatic exit, not a social media announcement, a strategic exit. If you're in an environment that constantly undermines you despite your professionalism, you quietly line up another opportunity. You leave with reference intact. You leave with documentation. You leave with your dignity. There is power in knowing when a space has reached its ceiling for you. I don't deal with like pity petty, disrespectful bosses. Women, male, I don't care. I don't deal with that kind of stuff. I will leave your establishment because I don't need you just as much as you feel like you don't need me. A lot of these people, when you're working for a job, they don't feel like they need you. Like, they may know like you're really good, you're really an exit, but they're like, okay, you can get sick. Okay, someone else can come in and do the job for cheaper. Okay, well, will they be as valuable as me? This is how I always knew. Like, I always knew that I was built to be, an entrepreneur. I always knew I had that in me because I could never really like fit in jobs. I could never really like deal with like the workplace hostility and stuff like that. I always tried to get myself jobs. Like, I hated when I had to work customer service when I was a teenager. Because I like to work in places where I can be isolated, when I could just sit in my office and work and maybe make calls, and I don't have to have people like constantly coming in bothering me, disrupting me. I don't have to deal with like people, trying to judge me or telling me what to do, or I have to worry about, being around a group of women that are jealous, and especially when they're not even black women and they're trying to show their hierarchy. And I don't want to deal with that stuff. So I'm like, look, I got to get a business. I got to build a business. Have been building a business, doing really well with it. Working on other streams of income. That way I can completely leave that kind of 9-to-5 lifestyle. And I'm not saying that everybody is meant to be an entrepreneur. No. It takes a certain kind of woman. It takes a certain kind of person to thrive and be successful within that. But I just know that like who I am personally, I don't fit in. And at the end of the day, this conversation is not about resentment. It's about awareness. When a non black woman is jealous of you at work, it's really about one isolated incident. It's about shifting hierarchies, unspoken competition, and subconscious bias colliding with your presence. You don't shrink. You do not perform extra humility. You do not contort yourself into palatability. Okay, you remain polished, you remain emotionally disciplined, you remain strategic, because the most unsettling thing for insecure people is not your beauty, not your intelligence, not your composure. It is your refusal to be rattled. And when you move through professional spaces with quiet confidence and documented excellence, jealousy becomes background noise instead of a barrier. And that is the level up.